I think it's time we get this village cleaned up. This looks much nicer. Good morning, gamers. My name is Mickey and welcome to episode 4 of my Minecraft Hardcore series. And in this episode, we're starting off over at the farmer house that we built up in the last episode. If you guys haven't caught that last episode, make sure you go and check that out. It is such a nice build. I'm really proud of it. There's a time lapse over there of how I built it, so make sure you check that out. And honestly, I don't know what you're doing here if you haven't already seen that previous episode. Skipping episodes? This is episode 4. But we are stopping over here for one reason and one reason only. In the previous episode, I asked you for names on what I should call this farmhouse, and you guys gave some great suggestions. But one comment from the user Chavez Sophie really stood out to me. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing their name correctly though. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. But the name they suggested was this. Serene Hill Farm. So thank you so much for the suggestion. I think it really fits because of the rolling kind of hills that I've got going on around in this village. I think Serene Hill Farm is the perfect name. But that's not all. One of you guys took it an extra step further and gave me some great name suggestions for these two guys. The two farmers who live together in the farmhouse. I'll flash the comment on screen now, but they recommended that I name them from two of the characters from a Studio Ghibli movie called Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Now, I've never actually seen that movie, but it has been on my list for a while because I do love Studio Ghibli. I went out of my way to watch it and I absolutely adored it. So I think these two villages are gonna be called Nausicaa and Asbel. But thanks to you both for those name suggestions for both the house and the villages. It really means a lot. It's really cool to have, say, like a piece of you guys in this series with me. It's like I'm taking you guys along for the ride and it just makes me so happy. And thank you for the amazing film suggestion. It was such a pretty film. I'm so glad I went out of my way to watch it, so I really appreciate the suggestions. I think it's time you change. You have Riptide 2. I'm not interested in Riptide 2. I want you to have Mending. Like, in all honesty, I need that. Silk Touch would also be great. I feel like I have I just have a good chance of getting it from my enchantment table up there, so I just want Mending. Please come over and work, because I need to change up your trades. There, don't look at anything else. You want that. Nice. What have you got? A bookshelf. Great. So now I'm going to spend the next 20 minutes, hopefully 20 minutes, trying to get a mending book. This might take a lot longer. I'll see how long it actually takes me to get a mending book. Oh my god. We are like 1 minute in. Silk Touch. I feel like that could be so useful. Oh no. Do I have any other villages that I can use right now? Not you guys. What about you? Have I traded with you at all? No. Okay, I'm sorry, you are no longer going to be a fisherman. I'm gonna get you to be a mending villager. I know I said that I wasn't too bothered about Silk Touch, but I got that Silk Touch book so fast, I think I would honestly be dumb to not just take it, because I've been wanting it for a pickaxe for so long, and also a shovel. So I'm gonna lock in this trade whilst I remember, just so I don't lose it. Yeah, he's gonna stay as a novice, and he's gonna keep that Silk Touch trade, which is great. And now you, my friend, you are no longer gonna be a fisherman. Here, take this, take this, take this. No, don't take that. Don't take that. What have you got for me? Nothing again. This is going to take a while. I will be back in a moment. Oh my. That took longer than I cared to admit. But I finally have him. 38 emeralds though. I have no clue if that is any good. Okay, so after some research, I found out that books can range anywhere between like 10 and 64 emeralds. And apparently mending can range anywhere between 10 and 38 emeralds. So I have got the most expensive price, but it just is mainly dependent on how much I think it's worth it. I did see it walk past in the background. There it is, a ginger tabby. Oh, I scared it because I didn't know it saw me. I've got some lovely salmon for you. It's miles away. Where are you going? It just keeps walking away. Look how far away I've come. It's running away again. You have nowhere to run now. Okay, you got stuck on a tree. There. First try, baby. Let's get you over. You, my friend, I love you. I love ginger cats. Ginger cats are adorable. And this one is gonna be my cat. What are you doing there? Okay, come on in. I want you to calm down around the stone cutter, okay? Get off! Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down! You're stressing me out. You're stressing me out. This is the pinnacle of orange cat, okay? Okay, you're staying there. You're staying there. He loves the stone cutter for no reason. I don't know what I'm gonna name you. Definitely needs to be something in relation to the stone cutter. Maybe you guys can give me a great name for this cat here. I trust you guys. You guys have given me great names so far. Right, Skylar? Yeah? So definitely put in the comments below any name suggestions you have for this orange cat. He is already the bane of my existence. He has stressed me out 10 times in the past 5 minutes. So in other news, I'm going to spend probably the next half hour trying to get a better mending trade. If I re-roll and it's more expensive, I will cry. Okay. That didn't take too long, and it's 28 emeralds. I'm gonna go for it. I need to lock it in, but I need emeralds. Okay, I've grabbed some emeralds, and I can lock this in, and I now have 2 mending books, which is amazing. I can get as many as I want now because I have those 3 big open fields with those 2 farmers. And so I have a mending villager, finally. And I also have a silk touch villager, which I might buy a couple silk touch books. With those books gathered and out the way, I think I'm going to do a little bit more enchanting. I already have my fortune pickaxe, which I can throw a mending on. So I want to try and get a pickaxe with good enchantments that specifically has silk touch. But if I get good enchantments that isn't silk touch, I can always put silk touch on it now that I have these books. Same with a shovel, I want silk touch. An axe, I just want to enchant an axe. I want to make sure it has unbreaking and efficiency at least. And then I also might try and enchant a good sword to better protect myself when it does get nighttime and I do have those pesky creepers sneaking up on me. I'm gonna just grab some lapis lazuli and start off with my pickaxe, and it starts off with efficiency 4, which sounds amazing, and I'm just gonna put the efficiency 4 on this one, and it's just efficiency 4, so I am gonna disenchant it again. So I'm just gonna do the efficiency 4 on the pickaxe again, and oh my god, this game actually despises me. 3rd time's the charm. Oh my god, this game hates me. This game actually despises me. See what my diamond pickaxe gives me. Unbreaking 3. You know what? I'm actually going to go for this one because the efficiency 4 ones aren't giving me any luck. So, there we go. That's what I wanted. That's actually what I wanted. I'm not high enough level to do any more enchanting, so I'm going to make a anvil, and it should only be 31 iron, right? Yeah. I'm going to just throw the anvil, I guess here. I guess that's the best place for me to put it. And then I can grab silk touch, I can grab mending, and then I can finally, there it is, my main pickaxe. I can get this iron one out. Okay, so today's episode plan, I need a wall. I need a wall, actually. This one. The plan today, for today's episode, the reason why I hit record, the reason why this episode is titled the way it is, I want to build up some auto farms. And these are going to be, I think, maybe 5 or 6 of my essential starter farms to have in any world. The ones that I can't really live without. The ones that are going to be really beneficial. First farm, auto sugarcane. Sugarcane farm. That's easy to make. Alongside that, we can do a bamboo farm. These have the exact same build, so I'm going to build them near each other, I think. These shouldn't be too difficult. Sugarcane is great for paper and sugar, and bamboo is great for sticks and fuel, so, and also the blocks. Melon farm, and alongside that, a pumpkin farm. Again, 2 more essential farms, in my eyes anyway, for the start of a world, because you can just leave these running, come back, grab them, and just trade them to the villagers, and you get emeralds. So, another farm, wool. I just think wool is pretty neat. I used it in my windmill over there, and that was like, I think 40 something wool. and I want to build up some more windmills to kind of fit the vibe of the Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind of the two villages, because they lived in the Valley of the Wind, obviously, and there was a lot of windmills. I'm going to need wool for windmills, as well as beds for the villagers, and later on, wool comes in useful when it comes to the deep dark. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're only on episode 4, and I take this a lot slower. And finally, and one of the most important farms, in my opinion, to have at the start of any world is an iron farm. I can't live without an iron farm. Hoppers, anvils, cauldrons, armor, tools, just shears, everything. And I am going to need an iron farm for a constant supply of iron for the shears that are needed for the wool farm. And pistons and everything, I need an iron farm. And that's going to be the main thing that I want to do in this episode. But alongside it, I want to build up all of these farms as and where I can, dotted around the village. For these farms though, well, at least 5 of them, I'm going to need some observers. And my issue with that is observers require quartz, and I only have 12. So I need to go to the nether, which shouldn't be a problem because I conquered the nether before. I know what I'm doing. Episode 2, nether, easy. Okay? Nether shouldn't be hard. I also want some more shroom light from the nether, so I'm going to pick up some of that as well whilst I'm in there. So I've got some blocks, I've got my iron hoe, I've got my fortune pickaxe. That's all I need. That's all I need to head out to the nether. We're here. I swear I just heard a cat as soon as I came through the portal. Is there a cat here somewhere? Or am I hearing things? I think I'm delusional. Okay, yeah. Nah, I didn't hear a cat, I guess. I guess I'm just going insane. No, I do. I hear a cat. Oh my god, I was right. What are you doing here? Let me get you out. Let me tame you and get you out. Please. Please just look at me. I want to get you out of here. There we go. I'm glad I brought my raw salmon with me. Okay, follow me. I'm going to leave you up here near the exit so I can pick you up on my way out. I don't know how much quartz I should be getting, but I think a stack of 7 is fine for now. If I ever need more, I can come back and get more, but I think that is good. I'm just going to pick up some more shroom light, however. Okay, I have 50 shroom light, which means I have over a stack because I have quite a bit more left at my house. But we're back on our house now. I can quickly throw all of this stuff back into some chests. I do have over a stack of shroom light, which is very, very nice. So let's grab all of this shroom light. Let's grab some sugarcane, some bamboo, some regular mud, a good amount of cobbled deep slate, as well as the deep slate bricks and stairs, a good amount of spruce logs and oak logs, as well as a couple chests to store all of this stuff in, some moss, some oak leaves, pumpkin seeds, and we might as well grab pumpkins, as well as melons so we can make some melon seeds. Let's craft up some observers, as well as some pistons to go with those observers. We're also going to need some stone, some cobblestone, and some mossy cobblestone, as well as we're going to need a bunch of glass. Of course, we're going to need some redstone, as well as maybe some iron to craft up the hoppers that we need, and finally some bone meal. So in this chest right here, I have thrown everything that I need for these farms in here. This top part of the chest is all the aesthetic blocks, all of the stuff that I am going to be using to make it look nice, and I'm now just realizing that I need my mangrove. The mangrove is now added, as well as some sticks, just in case. So as I was saying, this top part is for the aesthetic purposes only, and this bottom part is what I should hopefully need to build 4 out of the 6 farms that I want to build in this episode, that being pumpkin, melons, sugarcane, and bamboo. Obviously, this isn't in exact amounts, again, like all the other builds. A lot of this is like the raw materials for crafting. The only things that are in exact amounts, I think, are the water buckets and the pistons and observers, because I didn't want to overcraft these. But other than that, nothing else is in exact amounts. So to get started, I want to figure out a nice spot to place the sugarcane and the bamboo farm. So what I am going to do is I'm going to push this man-made hill just a little bit further back like so I can have a path run along this way, and then I can have, say, the actual blocks for the sugarcane farm go about here. I think the first block is going to go. Obviously, remember, this house is going to be torn down at some point. At the moment, it is just housing one of the villagers. I think I'm just going to keep it there for now until I actually build up some more houses. But this is the first initial marker of where the sugarcane and or bamboo farm are going to go. They're going to go right next to each other. So let's just say this one is the sugarcane farm. I then need to have a 10 block gap in between these two spruce pillars. So what was that? That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the other spruce is going to go right there. So I've cleared out what I think to be the space required to build up the sugarcane farm is, and I've gone ahead and done the same over here for the bamboo farm. Like I said, these two farms are going to be near enough the exact same in design. One's just going to have water and the other one isn't, because sugarcane requires water to grow. These spruce pillars are the corner pieces of the actual design of the farm, like the aesthetics of the farm. I think what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to build up a module of each of these farms, and I will get to the aesthetics of it later. So for these farms, you're going to need observers, pistons, mud, your bamboo and sugarcane. You're going to need water buckets for the sugarcane farm. You're going to need some redstone, filler blocks, and I think for that I'm going to use just some oak planks because it kind of goes into the design. You're going to need some hoppers, some chests, a lot more hoppers than that. So I'll get to crafting them after I do the one modules. I think that's all you need for just one module of each of these farms. So for the sugarcane farm, I am going to place all of the mud in now, and below the mud is where you're going to want your hoppers. So here I want our hopper facing this way because that's actually where my double chest is going to go, which picks up all the sugarcane, and then I will get to placing another hopper there later on. The great thing about mud is, even though it is visually a full block and you can plant sugarcane or whatever on top of it, but the great thing about it is that even though it is visually a full block, it's actually slightly smaller, so hoppers can still suck and extract through the block, which is honestly, it's amazing. I love it. So the next thing with this farm is I'm going to want to fill in that little backing wall there, just so that when I place in the water, it doesn't just spill everywhere. So for the actual design itself, it is quite simple. Your sugarcane is going to go on top of the mud where the hopper is. You want just a block behind it. This is just a filler block. You don't actually need this for the design itself. I'm going to have all of them across like this, but it's just so when I look through the glass, it's not just a hole. That doesn't have to be anything, but I like that it's there. On top of this, you want a piston to actually break the sugarcane, and then on top of the piston, you want a observer. And then to power that piston, I think all you need is a block behind the piston and a piece of redstone dust where the observer is facing, so that when a block updates in front of the observer like so, it powers this redstone, which then powers the block and then powers the piston. So then when the sugarcane grows up to 3 tall, piston breaks it and it is gathered by the hopper and pushes it into the chest. There will be glass in front of all of the sugarcane. It will collect each piece losslessly. You won't lose any sugarcane. None of it will get stuck and despawn, and that is the beauty of this mud block. I'll build another one of those modules up for you guys because the bamboo one is identical to the sugarcane one in the fact that they grow in very similar ways. So here you want a double chest and you want an observer facing into the back of it. With this farm, you don't actually need water along this way, so I'm just going to leave that empty and I'm just going to place my wood in. On top of the mud, you want your bamboo, you want your piston, you want your observer not facing upwards, you want it facing in that direction so it can detect when the bamboo grows. Full block on the back of the piston, and then a redstone dust just there so that when the bamboo grows to 3 tall, it does the same thing as the sugarcane. So there it is, a very simple design for an automatic sugarcane and an automatic bamboo farm, and I love it. It's so easy, it's so simple. I'm gonna get to building up the rest of this, not the aesthetics, I'll leave the aesthetics for later, but I'm just gonna get to building up all 8 modules of each of the bamboo and sugarcane farms. So I will be back with you guys in just a mo. So this is the sugarcane farm all done, obviously without the aesthetics around it and without the glass out the front of it to stop all of the sugarcane getting pushed out too far, but it should still work and it should still pick up sugarcane when this grows. But I've come into a bit of a problem. The bamboo farm, I couldn't finish because this is my last iron ingot. I need so many more hoppers. I need another 9 for this farm, and then I need a lot more for the melon and the pumpkin farm. Yo, wandering villager, what have you got for me? Absolutely nothing. Hey man, I hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna do something a little bit funny. I'm gonna just take that lead. Thank you. To build the other 2 farms up that I want to build, the melon and the pumpkin farm, I'm going to need a lot more iron. So I think we put this little project over here on hold as I build up an iron farm. And I actually don't know where I want to put this iron farm. I haven't thought about it yet because it needs to be out of the way of the village. I think a good place to put the iron golem farm actually might be just down here. It's out of the way, so it's not kind of near the village because it won't work if it's too close to the village. But I think it's close enough so that as I'm working on the village, it might still work. It might still be in the range, but if not, it's not going to be too hard for me to come down and AFK over here as I wait for some iron to build up. So I think over here is actually a perfectly good place to build it. With the area figured out on where I want to build my iron farm, I'm actually going to need to make some space so I have enough room to move in the villages and build this iron farm up. The area is all cleared out now and flattened, and I even flattened this mound that was here because the villagers are going to detect in a range where they want to spawn the iron golem, and I didn't want them to try and spawn it onto any of the hills that are in the area. So if this is the center, I think this should be fine for where they're going to be spawning the iron golem. So I've also gathered what I think is everything I'm going to need for the farm. These are the main resources that I'm going to be using for the farm. These are just in hopes that I can use these to move the zombie and the villagers over into the iron farm. Now, I'm actually going to be following a tutorial from Wattles, which I will leave in the description below, because even though I do understand the basic mechanics of iron golem farms, I feel like I can't give a confident enough explanation as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. So if you want a in-depth explanation as to what's going on, I would highly recommend going to watch Wattles's tutorial, which I'll link in the description for you guys to go check out. Okay, we're actually getting pretty close to nighttime now, so I'm gonna head out in this direction because I don't want zombies to spawn over in my village. I found my first lot of zombies. Let's hope one of these picks up a block. Oh my god. Nice. That was easy. Okay, I'm gonna use my axe so I don't accidentally hit the guy who's holding a block. This is great. This is great. This is great. Okay, so now all I have to do is lead the zombie right over here. Come on, Mr. Zombie. All I need you to do is follow me up here and then fall into this hole. Nice. Okay, he's in. He's in. He's in. Now I just need to try and get a block above him. There we go. My zombie is in place. And he shouldn't despawn, so now I'm going to quickly sleep, and obviously I can't sleep there because there's a zombie in the box right next to me. And that, in my opinion, is the easy part out of the way. I now have to try and get the villagers in. So because I want the drop to be on that side for the iron golems, I want each of my villager pods to be on these sides of that zombie thing. So then the iron golem spawns, gets pushed, drops down, and lands in a hole I'm gonna encase the villagers in glass just because I think it looks nicer this way. Each of these glass boxes need to be 3 blocks high, and then on this block here is actually where the spawning platform is going to go. So the main spawning platform is actually pretty much ready. I just need to now try and squeeze in these 3 villagers into these 3 pods. And I'm hoping this actually won't be too much stress, but I have to move them from all the way up there, all the way around, and then into that farm. So this could get quite complicating. Okay, which one of you guys want to be trapped forever in order to provide me with infinite iron for the rest of the series? No one? No takers? No, I actually don't know what the best way to move these guys is. This guy, luckily, I haven't traded with, so I should be able to move him with the profession block, and it should be fine. I could move him with a bed, actually, if I make it quick. Okay, lucky villager number 1, you're coming with me. I could move another villager whilst I'm here. This guy, who I don't need at the moment either. And then there's another guy, but I don't know where he is. This guy, you don't have a bed. How about I try and give you a bed? Where are you going? Who is you? Who are you? Are you one of the farmers? I don't want you. I want that guy. Why are you following me? Yeah, you. Oh, baby! This is stressful. I don't want this to be any harder than it has to be. I want to get you guys over there. I should be able to get you guys into the light. No, is it daytime? Are they running off? They're running off. This is not what I wanted. I hope they don't die. I need to keep them safe. I don't know where they're going. Are they just going to wander around for ages now? Please don't go all the way back to the village. Okay, I'm glad you haven't ran away. Here, have a blast furnace. I'm going to move you all the way over here. He sees it. Okay, this is the idea. I'm going to get him on this platform and then just push. You can go in the hole now. Yeah! Villager number 1 is in. Oh my god. I am so happy about that. I just need the other 2 now. This shouldn't be... It's gonna be difficult. Who am I kidding? Well, that's it. The villagers are in. The zombies in. I just need to finish up the rest of it. Honestly, took longer than I expected it to. Because these guys sort out the beds at nighttime, they should have already slept, so I shouldn't have to wait for this thing to work. But in theory, this is it done. I just need to dig out a little hole for where the iron golems are gonna land, and I'm just gonna do that in the ground. Cool, so now all I have to do is open it up, which should be as easy as... I'm very scared of this lava now, but it should be as easy as opening this block, that block, and... Oh! No! Yeah, so that... Just ignore that. I'm very close to death. Let me just quickly run into this water. My life just flashed before my eyes. But hey, my iron golem farm works. Wow. Go in the lava, please. Thank you. That is probably the most dumb thing I think I've ever done in Minecraft. Oh, did it work? Have I got stuff? I have got stuff. I have iron. It works. Oh my god. That was really something. That was really, really something. I do have a plan on making this look a lot nicer than what it does, which I will get to in the next episode, so be sure to stick around for that. But for the time being, this is amazing, and I'm just gonna leave it as is, because it's working, it's producing iron. That's all I need it to do for the rest of the episode. And I'm just gonna go empty out my inventory and just maybe put myself in a little cubby hole and AFK here for... I don't know, maybe 20 minutes just to get up some iron so that I can work on the rest of the farms that I have planned. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, it's been a bit longer than 20 minutes. In fact, it's been 2 hours. I have been staring at this farm, watching it work for the past 2 hours. There are reasons behind it though. The first one being an iron golem had spawned down here and I couldn't figure out why, and then no iron golems are spawning down here again for the next hour or so, but literally like 20 minutes ago an iron golem spawned, so I've pushed this hill back a little bit, as you can see, and hopefully they no longer spawn over here. And the second reason being, I did a little bit of maths, okay? I need 60 hoppers for the farms that I'm building in this episode, which is 300 iron. Okay, you're with me? Iron golems drop around 3 to 5 iron per death. So if we go off of the minimum drop rate of 3 iron, and if we go off the fact that this farm, when at max efficiency, works at about 1 iron golem per 30 seconds, it means I would have to wait around 3,000 seconds for 300 iron, which is what I need for all those hoppers. So that's about 50 minutes. But the thing is, the iron golem farm wasn't working at max efficiency all the time. I don't know why, but I've been here for 2 hours, and I'm hoping in this chest that there is just under 5 stacks of iron, because that's what I need, just under 5 stacks. So open this up. We have enough. We have enough iron to last me for the rest of this episode to build up the rest of those farms. And I was really nervous that I wasn't going to have enough iron, because like I said, this farm isn't working at max efficiency, but still 5 stacks of iron in 2 hours. Yeah, I've just hit the 2 hour mark. So 5 stacks of iron in that time. Very good. I'm very happy about it. So with enough iron for hoppers, I'm finally going to get round to building up this pumpkin farm. And I'm going to talk through my way of doing it just for the actual farm itself, like how I did with the sugarcane and bamboo farm. As you can see here, I've laid out where the corners of the pumpkin and the melon farm are going to go. I will terraform the area and make it look a lot nicer, but for now, this is just a basic plan of where they're going to go. So the farm itself is actually quite simple. I'm going to start off with the bottom layer, and that is just going to be a double chest and then a bunch of hoppers leading into this double chest. Now, you could use a hopper minecart system instead of floor of hoppers, and it will save on iron most likely, but I don't like the sound of minecarts, and it also would require an extra block of elevation, and I just don't think it looks too nice. So on top of the hoppers, you want to get your dirt and your mud in place, and it needs to be on a sort of checkerboard pattern like so. And the great thing about growing pumpkins and melons is that they don't actually need a hydrated bit of soil to grow, because all you need to do is bone meal the stalk all the way up to maximum growth height, and this would still grow and spread to each of the adjacent blocks, which is great. It means you can substitute one of the blocks for farmland instead of a water source, and you just get an extra bit of pumpkin or melon from the farm. All of my pumpkin stalks are in place and fully bone mealed, so now I'm going to get to placing in the observers. Each of the observers need to be facing down into the stalk, so that when the stalk block updates, which is when the pumpkin actually grows, the observers detect that, and then they power the pistons, which I am going to place either side of these observers. A tip to placing in the pistons in the correct orientation is to place a trapdoor and then use it to kind of get into the crawl space, because you want all of the pistons to be facing downwards like so. After this, you want to go back to the top and place just any old block on top of the observers so that a redstone pulse is sent through them, and then you want to place redstone dust on top of all the pistons like so. And there you go, you see there, it actually worked. So the farm is now fully functional because each of these blocks here are underneath 1 block of height, technically speaking, because of the mud block, as I stated before with the sugarcane farm. Hoppers can pull through these blocks, and pumpkins should get stored in this chest here. Okay, so now I'm going to finish up all of these farms. That'll be the melon farm, the sugarcane farm, the bamboo farm, and then I also want to make them aesthetically pleasing to the eye and have them fit in with the build theme of the farmhouse. And I'm going to do that in the form of a time lapse. So I hope you guys enjoy the time lapse, and I hope you guys like the designs that I have for each of these farms. If you do, let me know in the comments below. I love hearing what you guys say. But anyways, enjoy the time lapse. So my Minecraft did this really cool thing where it ran out of memory whilst I was trying to do the time lapse and build everything up. And because of that, it messed up with the replay mod. So I wasn't able to get a full replay of me building up all my stuff. So there will be no time lapse. Old Mickey lied. No more time lapse. It is all my fault, really, because I forgot to assign more than 2 GB of RAM to this instance of Minecraft. So it's now upped. I now have enough RAM assigned to this instance. So in the future, if I want to do a time lapse, hopefully I won't run out of memory, but we're just going to cut straight through to where the builds are done. So I hope you guys like them. Sorry again, it'll be sorted out for the future. It was just a mistake on my part. So back to the video. And just like that, all the farms are done. I also went out of my way to get rid of this house because it was just in the way of the view of everything. But other than that, the farms are done. I like them. They fit with the theme. I know there's a lot of mangrove and deep slate and stuff, and I kind of want to step away from the theme at some point, but I feel like the level of consistency that's in the buildings is what makes the area look so nice. So obviously here's the sugarcane farm. It's quite nice, quite fancy. It has been working whilst we've been building, which is nice. And then pretty much the exact same build is the bamboo farm, which is working like a charm. There's not really much difference between these two builds. Here's my pumpkin farm, which has also been working whilst I've been building it. And the exact same build over here is my melon farm, which again has been going at it. And I'm just so glad that I have automated ways of gathering these items now, and I don't have to worry about actually making farms for these. The iron farm has also been producing iron for me whilst I've been building up those farms, and oh wow, okay, that's more iron than I actually anticipated there being. But back to our plan wall now. Sugarcane, done. That's sugar, paper. I think the librarians trade for paper, so that's also emeralds, so that one's done. Bamboo blocks, fuel, sticks for stick trades if need be. So that's really good. Bamboo is done. Pumpkin and melon, food if need be. Melon, I think, is also for potions, I think. I don't know. Either way, they're both also for trading. So that's even more emeralds. And then wool. Wool. I have to make a wool farm if I want to meet my criteria of 6 farms in this episode. So I don't think I'm going to go too over the top with this. Maybe 1, 2 sheep, nothing too aesthetic. Might just go with a very crude little wool farm. Okay, so for the wool farm, it is actually so simple. It's probably the simplest out of all the farms we're building in this episode. And I think I'm just going to build it right here because once it's built up, I have no need for this sheep pen. So I will probably just let the sheep roam free. And I also need to utilize some of these sheep and move them into the wool farm. Okay, so for this design, you want to find the grass block that your sheep is going to be stood on. And I think the first grass block I want my sheep on is this one right here. So behind that grass block, you actually want to have an observer facing into it to detect when this grass block changes between dirt and grass. You want a dispenser sat just on top of that observer with a redstone dust right behind it. And inside this dispenser, you want some shears. And just as a quick demonstration, if I place this piece of dirt right in front of the observer, you can see it fires, and obviously it hasn't fired the shears because there's nothing that the shears can interact with, but this is updating as appropriately. So I've just dug this little hole here right below where the grass block should be, and below the grass block you're actually going to want a hopper minecart sat right below it. Below the hopper minecart you actually want a hopper leading into a double chest. So as I said, hopper. And on top of the hopper, you actually want your hopper minecart, and it needs to stay on the rails so that it can pick up the blocks that are on top of that grass block and that it can send it into the chest. With the chest placed down, I'm just going to place down some glass, which is what is going to keep the sheep inside of here. And that's the farm done. All I need to do now is move one of these sheep inside of it, and it's finished. So before I move the sheep inside of this farm, I'm actually going to very quickly build up the other 2 modules I'm building. I'm only going to have a 3 module wool farm because that's all I really need, especially with the iron farm. I can have enough shears in here to still produce a lot of wool. So here it is. You can't really see it at the moment because the sheep pen's actually in the way, but I've built up all 3 modules and I've made it somewhat pretty. And remember, this thing is only temporary because I do want the market like right there. So this thing is only here for now until I build up a proper place for the sheep to actually go. Probably in the barn, probably gonna move and make it a bit more industrial in that regard. But now all I really need to do is get the sheep in there. So I'm going to take down this sheep pen and just let them roam free for now. It's not going to be that much of a problem because I have leads and I can always catch them. But you know, I don't want to kill these guys. I can let them roam around if need be. So just like that, the first sheep is in, easy. And there we are. All 3 sheep are in and ready to go. So all of these sheep are only going to produce white wool for now. If I want a different color, I can just dye the wool when it's been sheared, but I'm happy just collecting white wool for now. And we might actually see it. There we go. We just saw it work and we got 2 wool. And I'm leaving this backside open because then I can easily get in and out of these dispensers. I don't mind the exposed redstone because like I said before, this farm is temporary. But with that, all 6 of our farms are done. We got the wool farm, we got the melon, pumpkin, bamboo, sugarcane farm, and all the way over here, we have the iron farm. And now we can finally get this sign off of the plan wall and we've completed our task for this episode. And you know, I'm actually quite surprised we managed to get all 6 farms done in one episode. There was obviously some trouble with the iron farm and almost dying, but we don't talk about that. We successfully did it, and I'm quite proud of myself. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. This episode has been quite jam-packed with stuff from the farms and the mending villages. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. And if there was any farms that you want me to build in the future episode, like somewhere along the line of the series, let me know in the comments below. I do have a lot of things planned for the series, whether it's buildings, farms, or any other bits and pieces. But I still like to hear what you guys have to say. So definitely drop that in the comments below. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, maybe share with a friend. It's all really appreciated, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!